Welcome everybody to Soul Purpose Healing. We are live on air everywhere.com and I'm Viata, your host. So thank you for joining me this evening. I have a very special guest tonight. You don't want to miss El Hagan. He was my guest a week ago on my Friday health and well-being show, but tonight, our subject, we're going deep tonight on humbling of America. Yeah, all over America. We might say the whole world is being humbled right now. But first, let us welcome our global family from Female Solution Radio
Blog Talk Radio. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives.
All right. Thank you, Female Solution, because the women can make a difference today in this crazy world we're in. Now, I am also live on YouTube channel, Viata's Tiny House Village. So let me welcome my tiny house community. So come on in, everybody. You're welcome in my small house. It's actually a small house now. 360 square feet feels really good to me from 180 square feet that I spent 5 years in, which much joy, joy, joy. But as always on Soul Purpose Healing, we want to welcome our ancestors because, oh, I got little bugs flying around. Where'd they come from? We want to welcome not the bugs, but the ancestors, because these days things are getting a little chaotic, but the ancestors are always ready to help us. So get your drums. Let's drum in with Becca Shea in Heartbeat of Our Creator. We want the heartbeat of Yeshua and our Creator to come in with us right now.
And has blood has ransomed people for God.
Hey.
From every tribe and language, people, every nation.
Hey.
Where warriors are falling, there's a resurrection coming. It's your time to rise and shine. Oh, wake up, you sleeping giant. The wounds of injustice are being healed by the peace. Oh, Yahweh is bringing us power through unity. Where warriors are falling, there's a resurrection coming. Tribals come alive. Yeah, wake up, you sleeping giant. Your heartbeat, I feel it. Yeah, I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. Yeah, I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. we cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. Together we cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. We cry out, out. Your heartbeat, oh, give us your heartbeat. This is the hour to know whose side to stand by. Raise up the standard in battle for every fellow tribe. Warriors are fighting, there's a revival igniting. Search for such a time. Yeah, arise, you blazing fire. Faith and stand firm and listen to your destiny. The rhythm of our Father moves with victory. Where warriors are fighting, there's a revival igniting. So my soul God, and arise, blazing fire. Your heartbeat, I feel it. Yeah, I feel your heartbeat, I feel it. Yeah, I feel your heartbeat, I feel it. I feel your heartbeat, I feel it. I feel it, yeah, I feel it. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. We cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. Together we cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. We cry out, out. Your heartbeat, oh, give us your heartbeat. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. We cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. Together we cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. We cry out, out. Your heartbeat, oh, give us your heartbeat. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. We cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. Together we cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. We cry out, out. Your heartbeat, oh, give us your heartbeat.
So we give thanks tonight for unity. In this place we are in now, gathering together here for soul purpose healing. And we have a special guest with us tonight. El Gahan is here. And for those of you who didn't meet him on my previous show on health and well-being, he has shared a lot of wisdom and knowledge. So I asked him to come back because tonight we want to talk about a lot of wisdom and knowledge things. And he's the man. He's the man. How are you, brother?
Doing good. How is everything?
I can barely hear you.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear me now?
A little louder.
Okay. How about now?
Okay, we're getting better. You're a little foggy. You know what? You might want to wipe the lens of your camera because your face is not too clear. So maybe wipe. Do you have a lens you can wipe or something you can wipe your lens with? Because I noticed my lens was horrible when I first sat down.
Did that make a difference?
That's a little bit better. But okay, you're gonna have to speak up though. Maybe it's
Okay.
me. Okay, I'll turn you up. Okay. How are you, El Hagan?
Doing good. Thank you for inviting me today.
Yeah, how's the weather in your parts of the wood?
Very rainy.
Oh,
Rain.
okay.
Matter of fact, it was windy to the degree where it blew a lot of trees over.
And where are you located again?
Philadelphia.
Ooh, Philly. Okay, my friend's in Maine, and she sent me a text that it was snowing, and it's still snowing, and it's still snowing all day. They've had snow, so weather is just doing what it does. And we even had rain today in Florida, but it's still nice and warm. Getting colder though, so you guys are really gonna get some cold weather. You're expecting it though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, as I said, thank you for joining me. You know, I'm still I still have Kendrick Lamar in my brain. I've been still watching TikTok, and something that occurred to me, why this topic tonight, the humbling of America, because one of his songs is about sit down and be humble. And a lot of people have been humbled from the words that he used in his performance on last Sunday. We had a whole week people still making TikTok videos of him, of his dance, about the 40 mules and no, the 40 acres and a mule. Have you heard that expression?
Yes.
Okay. So when he sang about that, that triggered white folks everywhere being humbled. I mean, I've never seen so many Europeans come out on TikTok and YouTube talking about, I didn't know about the 40 acres and a mule. But when I think about it, and then those who did know about it, they were humbled. They weren't coming out all arrogant and prideful about anything. They were like, yeah, the government's been stealing from African Americans for some time now. And Kendrick Lamar had to bring out in front of 355 million people actually have viewed, probably more than that, that the fact that the government have been reminded of how the government stole from melanin people, former slaves, whatever, those 40 acres and a mule. Because I did some research about how much oil it was in Texas, South Dakota, all over the United States, where the United States government kind of took over and stole the land from people, dark skinned Native Americans, former slave, you name it. So tonight, I want to recognize that there's a humbling taking place in America. And the difference between the reactions or responses from people are either arrogant, ignorant, or overconfident, or just plain narcissists. So let's start off, El Hagan. Tell the people a little bit about yourself. I don't know if we talked about what your childhood religion was. Were you brought up in a Christian home?
Yes, I did. And we went through various types of churches. But one thing that I realized as time went on, each religious experience was a school to take you into a deeper awareness of the overall picture of what is. So I'm thankful for every religious experience that I've had. So whether it would be Christianity, whether it be Islam, whether it be Israelite background, any of these different schools. And I think if people had a chance to go through different schools, they could pick out what resonates most effectively with them and probably have a greater sensitivity.
I think you're right. So you grew up, was your household, your mom and dad taught you about Christianity and Jesus and the Bible? Is that where you started?
Well, we started out from a Catholic perspective and
Okay.
then went to something called Reformed Episcopal. And then, that we were in the era where the Bible was actually taken out of the schools. And I noticed a change in that because even though everybody wasn't necessarily Christian in their orientation, they had a shared reference to work off of that gave them a perspective of what was right, what was wrong, and what could be expected as a group kind of expectation with each other. And a lot of that is missing nowadays.
Absolutely. And you're right about experiencing different religions as you grow older. I think that would be the best way to raise children, introduce them to um, uh, um, Christianity, Buddha, any of the major religion, Muslim, introduce them to it, and then let them make a decision what resonates with them. Or let's just introduce them to nature. says spend out some time out in nature meditating and yoga. My grandchildren are very familiar with yoga now, and their dad's starting to meditate, so they're getting a more well-rounded. They didn't grow up in Christianity at all because their parents weren't going to church. So grandma took them to church one time and they were bored, and their dad took them to church and they enjoyed the donuts first, and then going to the playtime. But grandchildren these days are not really interested in learning about religion, and when I go to sit with them at the breakfast table, there's a Bible on the table, and I try and read some scriptures to them, but yeah, they're not feeling the scriptures and all that. So it's challenging to raise children today with some substance, spiritual knowledge, religious knowledge, or whatever. Do you have grandchildren or children? Where are you in that phase of your life? Grandpa or what?
Yeah, definitely.
You have grandchildren?
We do.
How many No, right now, are you married?
Hmm?
Are you married?
Yes.
Okay, so you and your wife have how many grandchildren?
We don't discuss our personal business like that.
Okay.
We do have grandchildren.
Okay, that's good. So in terms of what are they teaching you? Let's ask that, because when we look at arrogance, ignorance, and confidence, my grandchildren are teaching me a lot of patience. And so if you're spending time with these young grandchildren, I don't know how old they are, but are your grandchildren of the soul level of teaching you something, and are you learning from them?
I learn from everybody, actually, even if they're not human. I would still learn.
Even if they're not human, did you say?
Yes.
Okay.
So if it's a cat, a dog, a pig, a turtle, a deer, because to me, all of them are people as well. So each person got something to teach according to their own understanding and their own discovery. So when you're talking about the aspect of parenting and grandparenting, it's about respecting experiences. Usually, if a young person has an experience, they want to share it. There's too many times that the adults don't want to hear it because they're too busy or they don't consider that important. But
Right.
dissing a child is a good way to turn them astray. So there's two things I think are important. One, being able to hear and listen. Of course, you don't always have the time at that moment to listen, but to keep a running comprehension of what a person is doing so that when they do something later, you remember the experiences that those activities are based on so that you could have an intelligent discussion with them. Number two is being transparent your own self when you interact, particularly with children, because they remember everything. And there's too many people that have lies that they present to the children, either because of guilt, shame, or an ideology, which that's where the religions come in order to make an ideological story work. A person may have to shut out all other realities in order to embrace that particular narrative. And so there's a problem with that because, as far as overall religion is concerned, the way they bring it to us is mostly through history and through a moral grid built over that history, like who's good, who's bad. But yet, you see a lot of people that did good things and they did bad things. So, at what point does their good outweigh the bad to the point where you should modify and base your life on their life? So, I think if people have more just like in the scripture where it says, "Come, let us reason amongst one another." The key word be reason. So I might not agree with whatever you say, but I do agree to listen and consider. I might not adopt it. I might not take that on as my principle, but at least I heard what you were sharing. And if you heard what I had to share, and we could both respect that, I think we can get somewhere. And if we do that more amongst the larger group of people in the world, I think we will get into a basis of understanding.
Well, that when I don't know, do you watch football?
You said if I do what?
Do you watch football?
Sometimes.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did not watch the Super Bowl.
Okay, so you didn't see Kendrick Lamar's performance on the halftime, right?
I did not.
So one of the things that has come out of that performance, besides 355 million people watching it, and now on social media, TikTok, YouTube, people are making videos from his performance. Now, this is a young black man from Compton. You know where Compton is? So he grew up in Compton along with Serena Williams. So people are talking about Serena was on that stage at halftime doing her crip walk thing. And Kendrick Lamar gave an amazing performance about Black history. So the reason this show actually, this title came up though was there's a guy, he's a political commentator on YouTube. He's a Muslim guy. And he was talking about how America is being humbled because the South, the global South, meaning Africa and some Middle East and all that, the global South is not going to let America bully them. So I don't know how much you watch, global politics and all that, but the humbling of America, to me, is taking place locally in the Compton, Kendrick Lamar energy and dimension. And then globally, we have Trump in the White House, who's a very good narcissist bully, who's getting things done. I have to say that he's getting things done. But this guy was saying how he's not going to be able to bully the countries in Africa, for instance, and Middle East. He's not going to have the same effect that America had years ago as a colonizer. And so he believes America is being humbled on some level. I believe what happened at the Super Bowl has humbled a lot of Europeans. They have come away from that performance viewing Black history from a young Black man who rapped through for 13 minutes about the history and visual Black, red, white, and blue American flag type demonstration that has humbled a lot of white folks because they heard a history lesson from a young man in poetry. By the way, Kendrick, I don't know if you know Kendrick, he won a Pulitzer Prize for his lyrics in one of his albums in 2018. So this is not your average rapper. He's probably the best right now. But he won a Pulitzer Prize, which says a lot about his poetic talent. And that poetic talent is bringing out the white Americans as well as I saw a dance in Uganda, for instance, based on his performance at the Super Bowl. These young black kids are performing Kendrick's dance in Uganda. So the humbling of America is taking place, but I think the humbling of the world maybe is taking place because of Trump being on the scene and because of artists like Kendrick Lamar. So I wanted you and I to have kind of a conversation, discussion on the arrogance or ignorance or confidence that plays out when we're being humbled. You
Mm.
know, to me, arrogance, people can't learn when they're arrogant. And when once they're humbled, maybe they can pick up on some of the lessons, right? That's how I look at it. Now, someone who's ignorant, the remedy is probably a little education. And so that's what my goal is on this channel, is to educate, entertain, and kind of have conversations with people like yourself who have some wisdom and experience to help the population and the people evolve, evolve to a place of improvement in their lifestyle and everything. So, what's your take, first of all, on the humbling? Do you agree with that? Do you see that happening, the humbling of America or the globe? And if so or not, how do you see arrogance fitting in, and narcissism even, with this humbling that's taking place?
Well, what I think is that the whole world, and when I say world, I mean the people of the world, I think there needs to be another level of maturation in order for the people of the earth to get a good grade as a planet. So it's going to need some humbling. It's going to need a lot of humbling. And the things that you think would humble people, I don't know if it's working or not, because they seem to be scaling up in their making of weapons. They seem to be scaling up in their level of trying to control other people. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of niceness going on at this time. So I'm not sure if that could be recognized as humble or not. I think there's going to be some humbling, more so than whatever is going on at this time. And as I know that the scriptures always talks about wars and rumors of wars in diverse places. I see a lot of that going on. And I think that in 2025, it seems like people should have learned to get along better, at least on an institutional level, country by country. Because why does one country need to go and take the resources of another country? It seemed like if they would have a discussion, they could get a trade on the go that would make everybody happy. So when it gets to the point of sharing, I think that people at that point have become humbled.
So, what about the arrogance in the process? In the process, we have this humbling going on. For instance, Kendrick Lamar brought out the 40 acres and a mule, and you have some people are waking up to the fact that, yeah, we had a lot of things stolen from melanin people, and yet and then some people are saying, wow, that didn't teach me anything. So how do you think we should be responding to the arrogance, the ignorance, and all the things that are happening, because we're being humbled? And on many levels, I believe we're being humbled, and some people are resisting. So do you see any of that in your own circles, or your own practice? Are you practicing any religion right now?
Well, when you say practice, I don't understand practice. I understand I'm trying to make it the best way I know how, and I'm learning every day and trying to apply what I learn every day. If that's considered a practice, then okay, I would be practicing. But in answer to that other question you just asked, I think that maturity, like not maturity by the age, but maturity by awakened understanding is the thing that's going to make people be able to function with each other in a better way. So to deal with arrogance. The arrogant people are going to be arrogant. You generally can't stop them from being arrogant other than applying the same kind of techniques that they apply, force to force, or you could outgrow them. And usually, when you outgrow them, your solutions will outrun the solutions that they use to try to propagate the arrogance and the results of arrogance. So, also think that there's pressure, the arrogance that the arrogant people have creates a pressure and an impetus for us to grow. For those of us that don't wish to be arrogant, I think being exposed to that kind of challenge would give us an opportunity to expand to see if we could bring balance to a earth that needs healing.
So, well, we have some comments here. Let's read some of the comments and I'll see if you have any response. We have Olivia. Thank you, Olivia, for joining us tonight. The hearts and minds has left God within. So we see in action none humble people. Wait a minute, none humble people. So the unity in some that are awakened see what need to be done to help with the harvest. You have a comment for that on that?
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that is exactly true.
So you're feeling like her people have left the creator within, right? So the king and you know Yeshua the Messiah said the kingdom is within. So when Olivia is saying they've left the creator within, I see that as why we have so much sickness. And you talked about that on my last show, health, and when we were on health and well-being. When I see someone and you agreeing and we are discerning people have left the creator within, the kingdom within is being neglected. And that could be on a physical a nourishment level and a worship level and on so many levels. Do you see that happening on like different levels, like taking care of our bodies? And if we've left the creator, we've left the kingdom inside, and that to me spells neglect.
That sounds very, very accurate because, all right, say if a person has God in their heart, right, and another person has God in their heart, how can they fight? Wouldn't the God in one heart recognize the God in another heart and seek harmony and whatever is most nourishing for the beings? So that's what I'm looking at. And I notice there's more arrogance to me in society now than ever before. I think people are very distracted with the various technologies and they put so much of their attention into being entertained by these technologies that they don't have time to go within and find out if there is a God spirit in them at all.
That's kind of funny, not having time to go within to see if there's a spirit in there of the creator, because you got the fact that we are here, breathing, walking, talking. It's like, who did that? Where did we come from? How did we get here? There has to be, and there is such a level, what I call unconsciousness, going around us that, like Olivia said, uh, the unity in some like us, if we're conscious of our being part of a kingdom and we are servants of the Most High, and we're more aware of how we treat our brothers and sisters, not wanting to kill them. And it's like we don't even have to read the 10 Commandments anymore. Most of us here, I've got higher learning here, Olivia here, we don't need to read the 10 Commandments to say thou shalt not kill, right? It's just so in us and in our being and our life and our training and belief system that we don't have to even read parts of the quote Bible that we grew up with. I know I grew up with the Ten Commandments, and I was trying to read to tell my grandchildren about that, and we have the most interesting discussions about everything these days because they're 8 and 10 and they're smart, and they're on YouTube a lot on their little pads. So thank you, Olivia, for bringing that out. That tonight, as we talk about arrogance and ignorance, so many people are just ignorant about the kingdom within. And that's where it starts. I was talking about this on Friday how the first step is fly, first love yourself. And people get in trouble because they don't love themselves. They get in trouble with disease, with fighting. If the commandment that says love your neighbor as yourself, if that's in here, you don't need to read the Bible again, but people forgot about that we're in America as a country, let's just bomb everybody. So we certainly don't, we just wouldn't want them bombing us for sure. And yet we're observing, as she points out, we what needs to be done to help with the harvest. Thank you, Olivia. Did you have any other comments before I go to the next one, brother?
Yeah, I think that whatever people are consuming, they're going to become a great part of that. And we're consuming a lot of toxins, like radio toxins. When I say radio toxins, I'm not talking about programming. I'm talking about the actual radio waves, the waves that are going through the air, chemtrails that are being sprayed into the air, um, toxins that are in the water supply, the toxins that go into the food supply, Roundup, and all of that kind of pesticides. So, knowing that you are what you eat, and if you eat angry chemicals, the likelihood that you're going to be angry is very great. And the likeliness of a person being rational, reasonable, humble, understanding is less likely. So, a society that reaches another level of maturity is going to have to address the purity of the chemistry that's being expressed into the people from the environment and from the elements that they use to consume to nourish themselves.
And the nourishment needs to come from nature's love. um Olivia said we're centered by love. So the love from the trees, the birds, the bees, the grass, the plants that come out of it, that's the nourishment that I really count on every day. When I go out of this place in the morning and jump on my trampoline, I'm looking around at the trees and thank you for your love, looking at the sky. I don't like to see lines in the sky, but I'm even thanking the creator that those lines are going to disappear one day. And so the love is in nature. If we are really paying attention, we have so much love around us. And if you don't have trees in your area and the love evidence in your in area, the birds, the bees, like you said, even you're respecting the animals as much as you are the people. So we want to come out of our arrogance, be humbled by the experience of walking on this earth with all this love around us. And my sister, Higher Learning Network, Zelda, who's on tomorrow morning, Monday morning mindfulness, she says, grand evening, really enjoying your wit and wisdom. The white cotton. Yeah, this is white cotton and this is linen. I'm wearing my linen garments tonight. Head wrap is simply stunning. Thank you. You're glowing, Dr. V. You know why I'm glowing, Zelda? I haven't had any sugar for almost 2 months. I have, and I know El Hagan will appreciate it. I was coughing the whole month of January, just coughing up mucus all month. And I knew it had to do with the candida that I easily grow in my body just from eating too much sugar. So I ate way too much sugar in December because that was sugar month. Way too much sugar. So I said, okay, it's time to stop the sugar. And so my cough disappeared finally. And I'm not eating any sugar till next month on my birthday. I got somebody making me a German chocolate cake from scratch. Yay! I can't wait. Woo! And she's gonna make it with maple syrup. That's the best part. But I am gonna have some cocoa organic rum from Belize. So anyway, thank you, sister, because I feel like everything, my skin and everything is just has been purified just from eliminating the sugar. And I keep telling my grandchildren, their dads are addicted to sugar, and so many other people I know, sugar, sugar every day they're eating it. And for to go a whole month with no white sugar, I haven't. The only sweeter I've had is dates. So it's been such a purifying, great feeling, more energy coming back. But I tell you, January was low energy and coughing, and it seems like every year January is the month where I just had to cough and detox. Do you go through um as a side El Hagan, do you go through any detoxing any particular time of the year, or are you constantly detoxing all the time?
Constantly detoxing all the time.
Okay, okay. So you don't eat any sugar at all?
I eat some sugar, but I try to eat a tiny amount, like compared to maybe I might get 10% of my diet might have some sugar in it, but most of the sugars that I get are from actual fruits or vegetables like that. So occasionally I'll get some sugar from an outside source, like I might eat an oatmeal cookie or something like that. But in general, I try to stay away from straight refined sugar.
I am so enjoying um, blueberries, strawberries, and papaya with yogurt over it. In fact, kefir, not yogurt. I bought some kefir. You ever eat kefir?
I have had that before.
Because it has more probiotics in it. But it's tasting so good now. It's like I'm craving it every day now. Just to have some fresh fruit, pour some kefir over it. Oh, it's delicious. Because once you detox from the white refined sugar, your taste buds come back natural, and everything tastes better than white refined sugar. But while you're on this sugar fix, this drug fix, you want more sugar, right? If you're eating sugar every day, your tongue says, I need more sugar. And the parasites are telling you need more sugar. Parasites and the fungus, all the things that sugar creates. You need more sugar. You really need more sugar. You
I'm
need more.
glad you actually brought up that particular point because, like, we were talking about America, arrogance versus humility. I think the whole America is a sugar addict.
Of course. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
I think that the desire for sugar dictates a lot of the activity that goes on here. Because as far as I'm concerned, sugar is a mild form of cocaine in terms
Yes.
of the
Yes.
strategy, the structure of it. Because if you get so intensively involved in sugar, after a while you're going to want something stronger than sugar, and then something stronger than that, and then become a victim of that substance, or be succumb to the spirit of that substance, or the bridge spirit that hangs around or that's surrounded by that substance. So
And some people have this knowledge that you just stated, and I state it every Friday. I talk about the knowledge of eating right and doing the right thing, and even getting more knowledge and education, they still can't get off the sugar. So you're right. It's a serious drug addiction that America, if not, I don't think Europeans may not have it as bad as we do, but the corporations, and that's why I'm glad RFK Jr. is in the position he's in, Health Human Service Secretary, whatever, because he's very, very vocal about eliminating the foods that are causing childhood epidemic right now. He's been working on that for years. So we'll see how much he's going to do to help our addiction. But the arrogance is there with corporations that keep putting more sugar in their products in boxes. And now it's corn syrup. A lot of these corporations don't even use white refined sugar. You're reading labels and ingredients. It's corn, high fructose corn syrup or corn syrup. And the ignorance, people just can't be that ignorant anymore about what it's doing to their body, but they're controlled by their addiction. So the suffering that must come to this country might humble them enough to stop the addiction. You think?
Well, in an ideal world, I think that would work like that. But in a world where the people that are benefiting mostly by purveying these substances, and a person starting out as a baby being fed high fructose corn syrup, by the time they get to be a toddler, they will be fully addicted, and they will always want substances that have that in it. So at what point do they get schooled out of that, or weaned out of that, or some kind of way brought off of that they have been inundated with? So one of the keys to us going through a humbling process would be to make a determined effort to clean up our own lives, and then also clean up the lives of our children, but at least set an example one way or the other. So it's going to be some required discipline to get to another level of efficiency. You were mentioning Robert Kennedy, that his uncle used to always say, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So if he's going to be effective at healing some of the policies, the people that see what's going on need to help him, and send letters to his office and give him support along that line, not let him be a lone superhero. And that's one of the folklores that we've been presented with in our world growing up. When we read Marvel comics, we read DC comics, there's always a lone vigilante superhero that takes on the woes of the world by himself. Occasionally, they might get into a group like the Justice League of America, the Fantastic Four, or group like that. But still, in all, they have the same profile. They're all vigilantes. They have been done a great injustice or lost important people in their life, and they took it upon themselves to save humanity from their angry position. But that kind of folklore keeps us out of the responsibility of working together, joining forces. Like even something like this forum that we're doing right here. Like you called me, like, can you come on and have a discussion with me about these matters, so that we can share that with other thinking people that may be interested in such topic matters. So there's a partnership going on. There's yourself, there's the creator that you serve, there's myself, there's the creator that I serve, there's the people that came to listen and to share their ideas. But this is actually an action to do something about considering a matter. If one considers a matter, they may come up with more ideas on how to adjust the matter to a higher place and a higher space. So I'm happy that this is happening.
Absolutely. And I was thinking about the song "They Not Like Us." We, you, I, and the people who are really trying to support RFK Jr., we're not like us. They're not like us because they're not conscious about how to love their body. And Olivia says, so yes, we see and outgrow. I agree. Beautiful class tonight. And Okay, somebody's on air everywhere. So I'll open that mic in a minute. And she says we are centered by love. They not like us is the like-minded people like yourself and me and Olivia and Zelda, or those listening who are taking good care of their temple. They not like us, the sugar addicts and the pizza lovers and the drug and the alcohol drinkers. I think about that song in that sense. Maybe that's why people are dancing all over the world to it, because we're waking up, and some people are actually trying to change, is what I'm trying to say, because they're reminded of what's necessary now to wake to for us to become unified and to change the world like RFK wants to do, to bring make America healthy again, for instance. We're all there. He has a website called the Children's Health Defense, and those people on that website are all consciously taking care of their bodies, talking about how to avoid the jab and all that. So if you really want to back support him, go to his Children's Health Defense website and join up with them. I get emails from them every day almost. People in that family and that website are all consciously promoting health, eliminating processed foods and all that. So he's way ahead of the game, and now he's in this position. There, he's probably going to have a lot of resistance, especially from big pharma. But yeah, he's the one to lead the way, and it's up to us to support him and represent him. Let's just say, in our own lives, my life, your life, we need to be representing Make America Healthy again. So if I'm walking around smoking cigarettes all day, I'm not doing anything to make America healthy, because I'm polluting the air, polluting my body. And in fact, if I'm eating donuts every day, I'm not doing a whole lot to make America healthy, or a bunch of processed food. So let's not be arrogant or ignorant about the need to change ourselves first. And Olivia is a Pisces like me. Hey, Pisces, high five. We're in the Pisces. You congratulate. I'm March 2nd, my born day anniversary, and I'm the 12th, so we're 10 days apart. I knew we were related somehow. Yes, indeed. Congratulations. Thank you, Olivia, for being you and being the great Pisces that you are. So, El Hagan, do you want to share what your birth sign is? You believe in astrology and all that?
Aries.
Aries. Okay, that was earlier this year, right? No, Aries is later. What month are you?
That's a springtime experience.
Okay, springtime. Okay, springtime experience. So we are the group of conscious, healthy individuals that have gathered tonight. We have a responsibility to lead the way out of ignorance, out of arrogance. I look at the arrogance part is a lot of narcissism. Um, People who have narcissistic energy, they always have to be right. And they could have a tragic health challenge, a heart attack, a stroke, or something. And they still come back with a big ego. They might be humbled for a minute, but they're going to come back with a big ego if they have a lot of narcissistic energy and want to control everybody. And so I'm really careful about setting boundaries with people like that, because um, I have had to watch my father have a heart attack and be humbled like I'd never seen. My father had a heart attack when he was like, okay, let me think, in his 70s, I believe. And he lived to be 95. I think he was in his early 80s. Yeah, he was in his 80s. Lived to be 95. It humbled him, though. I watched him start reading his Bible. He had never, when I was a child growing up, my dad didn't read any Bible. My mother didn't read a Bible, even though her father was a pastor. So to watch someone go through a health challenge and be humbled and stay there is really impressive. And that's what I can respect and appreciate, when somebody goes through a major health challenge and they begin to share that experience in a very humble way. and then listen to others to stay out of that experience again. So I don't know about you, but I've seen enough people who have major health challenges who didn't come back humble. And I'm just wondering what's going to happen next. Do you see that in your journey of people who are either have had the serious heart challenge or health challenge, and then what happens after?
So, from a outsider's view, when I say outsider, I'm talking about by me not living in the body and in the soul of the person that's going through the various levels of suffering.
Right.
I feel that there's spiritual intervention in play, either positive or negative, because I feel that there's a lot of spirit beings that don't have flesh and blood bodies that would love nothing better than to have yours.
Hmm.
And as any parasite is trying to live and is trying to find a host. So now, whether one is able to overcome that host, I mean, when one is willing to not be a host to a negative spirit, that to me is a bigger picture of what's going on here than like, all right, this person smokes, so they don't know what's happening health wise and all of that. That person might have to smoke. The smoking might be a step up from what they were doing previously.
Right. Right.
There are some people who smoke that they better not stop smoking, they'll die
Hmm.
because the air that's in their body is predominantly made out of that smoke.
Hmm.
It's easy for a person to say, well, I don't smoke and you smoke, so you are not healthy and you're not going to make it. Or I pray this way, I pray facing the right, and you pray facing the left. So therefore, you cannot get into the kingdom because the people that go to the kingdom are people that pray facing the right. And the other people, well, we pray facing the middle, and neither one of you guys are any good. But those are actually distractions. It's like, okay, if I want to talk to an individual about their life, I ask them, what are your challenges? I don't decide for them what their challenges are. And if they're not actively taking away the rights of others or impinging upon the happiness of others, then how they express themselves or what challenges they're going through, what psychological trauma they're going through, what kind of experiences they had, and what they've had to overcome becomes a more accurate picture of who and what they are and the nature of their journey. So I'm interested in the nature of the person's journey and how are they grappling with it or how are they evolving from it like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. It's the evolution that's supposed to be the result of the suffering. And so I'm like you, I'm wanting to hear, what did you learn from it? What's the lesson from your suffering? And so I reckon that we got some people in the On Air Everywhere audience. So does anyone want to speak? The mic is open.
Hello, it's Kofi. Can you hear me?
Kofi, how are you doing? I haven't heard from you in a while. What's up?
Well, sometimes I stop and just listen to the collective, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot to listen to these days.
Well, I'm an elder and, trying to, connect with the younger generation
Okay.
is very difficult.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
they're going through they're going through what I, went through. And I'm turning 6 this year. And you know what I care about right now?
What's that?
Living to see 100.
Living to see what?
Living to see 100 years.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I don't get caught up in people's drama, people's indoctrination, like they were indoctrinated, like we were brought on boats from Africa. If they brought us from boats from Africa, right? Shouldn't they have, the sister told me, shouldn't they have boat rides right now from America to Africa? Right?
Right.
Why do you have to take a plane? Why you have to take a plane from America to Africa? Why you can't take the boat ride? Because it didn't happen. We are the indigenous, the original people of Turtle Island. I'm blessed with land in Texas and Arkansas. And, I put my life on the line by doing it for the last 20 years. Well, what does that mean? It means you're 10 toes down and you're respecting your ancestors in America because your ancestors ain't in Africa. My ancestor told me, boy, don't call yourself no African American.
So,
okay.
Yeah, Brother El Hagan, Kofi doesn't believe slaves that we came from Africa. There were no slave ships. What's your thought on that?
Well, there's a great mix of a wide range of people in this neighborhood. So some people came from there, some people were here. So it's like more neighbors.
There's a book. There's a book, brother, that's called Before They Came. Okay? It shows a picture of the Olmec. The Olmec sculptures, stone sculptures in Mexico. Stone sculptures in China, in Africa, in Australia. Okay? This is where the continents are connected at one point in time before the continental drift. It was called Pangea, the first civilization where the Olmec people, wide-nosed, dark-skinned people, it's called, the book is called Before They Came. Okay? I'm going to ask you a question. Did the deer come from Africa? There's deer in every continent, right? Did the deer, okay, my name is Chief Deer, Whitetail. Did the deer come from Africa? Oh.
And
what's on every continent?
There's a deer on every continent, did you say?
Yes.
So the question becomes,
on every
would be the case.
There was a melanated being, indigenous, on every continent. Why not America? Those $5 Indians, immigrants came here with the government. They paid $5 to become Native Americans. They're immigrants. They talked to me. They said, we know who you are. They were paid by the government to rob us of our identity. But the Olmecs was the first civilization, 500 BC, all over the world. So
how does one use that to improve the experience of today?
Look, the spaceship, it's a cartoon picture. That's indoctrination that the schools taught. You know why they taught that? So we can give up our land easily. A white man told me, man, we call y'all African Americans to keep y'all lost for the rest of your life. Y'all gonna follow all kind of religions, and you're gonna be lost for the rest of your life. I'm not lost.
Okay, let El Hagan has a comment, Kufi. Let him make a comment, please. Go ahead.
Sure.
The two things. One, if that be the case, then how does one use that to evolve the circumstance of this time? And number two, if the problems that are going on from that is the prevalent situation, how do we fix it?
Well, I don't disrespect my ancestors. My ancestors are from Mississippi, Arkansas, Texas, California. Makes you 10 toes down, and you will get respect from other races. People come to me, the European race, they say, man, you know who you are. I say, yeah. You're peaceful. Yeah. Every time you walk into my company, you're at peace. I said, because this is my land. If you think you were brought from Africa on chains, you are a victim, and you walk around as a victim. Okay?
Well, and that's the mentality of a lot of black.
You're disrespecting your ancestors from America. Ain't nobody found the answer. Look, if I want to go to Africa and get some land, I can do that. Okay? I can do that. But they paid these Freemasons like Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson, all these Freemasons to con us, like Marcus Garvey, to think that we were from Africa. It's no problem. If you want to go to Africa and build on that shores, that's what you do. Because we as indigenous people, we can move around. That's fine. I'm not saying that. But why does everybody want to come to America, all over the world? They're pressing, trying to come to America to build and get rich off of us. And we trying to leave this country. That's retarded. When the black men created all these inventions in America to get their freedom. Why are you trying to leave when everybody's trying to come? I feel the business. I bought my freedom. My mother told me, she said, James, you know, you got a candy store, buy your freedom, save your money. Okay? All I'm trying to say is, why is everybody coming to America and they're trying to push your butt out to Africa? I buy shea butter, mud cloth. African people, Australian, indigenous, we are the same people. This is our land. Who were the first people on this planet? Melanated people. So if you want to travel the world, that's fine. But everybody want to come to America to get rich, right? Why do we want to get rich? Because our indigenous people created thousands of inventions here in America. The traffic light, shoe machine, golf tee. I got an invention to heal skin disease, disease or skin with herbs. I'm an inventor. I understand my worth.
Well,
so let's get over this boat ride
mentality
from Africa, which never happened.
Okay, so
it never happened. I'm sorry. That's the indoctrination. It never happened.
Okay,
But
so one of the lessons from Sunday night halftime entertainment was a revolution of the mind that was promoted on that stage. And what you're talking about, Kufi, it starts with a revolution of thinking, that we were told a bunch of lies in this country. Most of us who are conscious and evolving are realizing all the lies that we've been told. So what you're saying to me is not far from the truth, because we had so many lies that we're trying to unfilter now. And so one of the things that has to happen, the revolution of the mind, we have to come out of this victimhood, because too many melanin people have this victimhood. We got to have reparations. Our parents were in slavery, and on and on and on. Yeah. And so let's start now, today, with stop apologizing for anything anymore. Being black for whatever reason.
Abraham Lincoln was a Cherokee Indian. He was a black man.
Right. That's what I've heard.
He set up Frederick Douglass to create the bank to give free the slaves out not the cotton picket fields, but out they were breeding us. 360,000 breeding farms in America. They were breeding us. Okay? That's why he got gunned down. And that's why they bombed all our townships, Greenwood, Florida, they don't want us to separate from them. They want to merge with us. I understand that, because I understand who we are. It's DNA. That's fine. But if you don't know who you are, you're going to go outside. You're going to try to merge with other people. I'm not merging. And all I'm saying right now is we are royalty, regardless what continent you are. We are royalty.
And let me just say this. So Kufi, I think a lot of European Americans are waking up to that reality that we are royalty. My observation perspective, there are more and more pale-skinned people, Europeans, who are looking at us respectfully and, like you said, as royalty. They realize the melanin puts us in such a special position on this planet to help them evolve even. And then so there are a lot of my pale skinned friends we're all like-minded. We're all evolving and raising our consciousness, and we're all more prayerful, we're all more meditative, we're doing yoga. This is a community, even the melanin friends I have, we're into yoga and meditation because we realize the royalty that we represent. So thank you, Kufi. Is there anyone else?
John Kennedy, he has been placed as the health czar of America.
You mean Robert F. Kennedy?
Robert Kennedy.
Yeah.
He said, don't give black people the vaccine.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All I'm trying to say is, our melanin is power. I mean, all of us for the media. Our melanin is the power. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. If you're melanated, you have a frequency. You're living in the universe, and everybody is gleaming off that.
Yeah, absolutely.
My parents. I'm sorry, I think my parents are melanated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm higher frequency.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't make myself.
Please stop saying I'm sorry. Kufi, stop saying I am sorry. That's not a phrase that you should be coming out of your mouth. It's I am powerful. Let's just put that out there, not I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you're right. When I left Belize, I had such an experience there that was I was guided by the Most High the whole time, and I've seen numbers. And when I left there, my host texted me and called me Your Highness, and I'm like, oh, okay, because I felt like I was Your Highness. I felt like royalty there because there was so much poverty there, and I wasn't judging it as much as just observing it and sending love everywhere I went. I was just sending love because there was so much poverty around and people living, but people were happy in their poverty. So, hey, I'm just sending love. Keep it up, keep it up. But you're right. We have to, melanin, nappy headed folks, need to start presenting ourselves as royalty. The European paleface is looking.
There is no,
looking.
there is no poverty.
Yeah, it was.
There
yeah,
is
it was.
no poverty.
Yeah, I saw.
These are
Listen,
crazy
housing.
facts.
Listen, when you see
Okay,
housing.
we can our melanin, we can manifest anything we want.
Yeah, honey.
Okay.
But I'm
Let me tell you
saying,
this,
listen,
let me tell you this,
Kofi,
Okay.
be quiet. I'm saying in terms of the housing, there's a lot of poverty. In terms of the housing. Otherwise, the people had acres of land growing food, but the housing was shacks everywhere. I mean, I live in a tiny house that's fairly decent, but compared to what I saw there, they DIY everything, housing especially, do it yourself housing, and they living in shack, but the people were happy. So that's where I was learning. I was a student there, and yet she called me Your Highness. I'm like, I think it was because of my attitude there was not judgment, it was just love. I was so grateful to be there and to know that I am blessed. I was blessed to be able to go to believe. So I hear what you're saying, and I want to give El Hagan.
You were housing your spirit. You were housing your spirit
yes.
on the land of your ancestors.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
There is no homelessness. You were housing your spirit on the land 10 toes down over your ancestors.
You know, there was
knows who we.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who we are, but us.
Yeah, there was no homelessness in Belize. Listen, Kofi. There is no homelessness in Belize. They know how to build shacks. That's what I'm saying. I didn't see anybody sleeping on the ground anywhere. It's so crowded anyway. I may have missed it. But there was nobody sleeping in the parks in the ground because they build little shacks to live in. They know how to build something, which is what we in America are lacking. People don't know how to build their own house.
Guess where your home is?
Your body.
But guess where your home is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
So do we have any other callers on air who want to comment? The mic is open. You can go ahead and speak if you like. Otherwise, we have another comment here.
All I want to say is I want to leave you with this here. Jesus was a tribe of Judah, bronze skins, feet of bronze. His name was Akhenaten. Okay?
Who are you saying? Yeshua? The Messiah?
No, he was called Akhenaten. He was married to Nefertiti. She taught him about the sun god. Her father was called Anu.
Right.
Okay? Akhenaten, that's where they get the Jesus from. A monolithic worshiping the sun. When you look at the sun and the sun disk, you transform. Caesar came and said, man, I'm trying to control these people. He married Cleopatra, right? Caesar married.
Don't try and control. Listen, don't try and control anybody. When you say that, you bring up narcissistic energy in my mind. Don't try and control anybody.
No. What I'm trying to say is the sun is the creator of the universe. The lava of the mountains create the land. The sun. We are sun people.
Okay, great point. Thank you, Kofi. Anybody else last time on air? Do you have any comments on air everywhere?
Eddie,
go ahead, Eddie.
Eddie Harris, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes,
Our
yes,
guest
yes,
is
yes,
El
yes.
Hagan. Our guest is El Hagan tonight, and we've been talking about humbling of America, overstanding, the difference between arrogance and ignorance, and being humble. Go ahead, Eddie.
Yes, and greetings, my brother. I tuned in late. I was here enjoying a nice cooked dinner, home cooked from scratch, like you said earlier. Somebody's making you a German chocolate cake for your birthday. Yes,
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm eating homemade things like that. So
yay!
I loved it. Anyway, what I wanted to add to it is understanding the revolution that keeps being brought up is no more than our hidden treasure. See, we don't know that the hidden treasure within all of us is the truth.
Yes, yes.
And as they say, the truth will set you free. This is why the truth is the revolution. And you know me, I'm talking in numbers. See, so truth is 4, revolution is 4, treasure is 4, God is 4, what's real is 4. It's all better. Better is 4. But it's been kept a secret. Secret is 4. All of this has been kept a secret. But this is the age of revealing or revelations, and everything has to be revealed. And this is why I always try to insert my part with numbers by the occult words of English that we still don't understand. It's still a game. And a lot of us don't understand the game because we don't see the power behind the game. It's the number behind each word of English, no other language. Don't try to twist this with nothing else but English. This is why it adds up, and numbers don't lie. But understanding that true revelations that we're talking about is spiritual. That's why spiritual is also 4. It's a spiritual war. See, spiritual war comes up to what color is the tree? What color the trees? The trees would be brown. Okay. Brown, carpet color, beige. But understanding brown is 14, which is 5. And as I think Brother Koopy was saying, that they bought the $5. Why did he say 5? See, that 5 is relevant. They bought a $5 to make somebody else who we were. And they just changed the name. The number 5 stayed the same. Brown became red. And they started saying the Indian was a red man. Well, guess what? Indians is 23-5. It's not we're Indians. We are from nations. Nations is 23. We done got it twisted, and we following the language, not knowing the word by the number we speak. So that's just my part to relate the number behind this English language, so we start seeing the truth.
Yes,
we'll
thank
set
you.
you free.
Thank us.
With that, peace and love, family. I just wanted to add that in.
Yes.
Dealing with our revelation.
Yeah, we're bringing
which
forth
is the revolution. He spoke the indigenous language.
Yes, yes. And we are bringing forth truth today. The melanin people need to speak it boldly and speak it to our brothers and sisters. And El Hagan, you have any comments at this point? I have one more comment on YouTube. El Hagan, did you have any other comment?
No.
Okay, so we have builds whole solar homes. That sounds like my brother LA. Shacks equals simple housing. Yes, thank you. The people, the houses I saw in Belize were extremely simple housing, built by people who live there with simple materials. And we have people here who are sleeping in tents. That's another form of simple housing because that's all they know. They don't know how to build anything other than a tent. I think it's a skill just to put a tent together. I have put tents together, and it takes some brain power to do that. But Olivia had said, rich in mind, you got to have a healthy mind to build a house, build your own house, a simple house. You got to have a healthy mind, because the technique to put that together, you can't put a simple house together and then the storm comes and blows it down. That means you didn't have the right mind.
Rihanna,
Yes.
you know where I go once a month? You know where I go once a month?
What's that?
I go to the suburbs and I bring some a little sleeping bag and I sleep in this little area where there's trees and I sleep amongst the trees. That's what hits me.
And that's what some people
Matter
need.
of fact, I might do it next week. That's what I do. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Stop saying that. I'm sorry.
The deer are there. I go and sleep in nature.
Yes.
To heal my. Yeah. Go ahead.
I hear Mama AZ come in? Mama AZ, did you have a comment or what was that?
Can you hear me, Dr. V?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I am so abundantly grateful, family, and greetings to all of my family who's on this call today. You have given me so much information, just downloads or confirmation for me to just continue to keep on moving forward no matter what. I'm not from Africa. I feel the same way. I'm not saying that, there haven't been people who were bused here from Africa, but I'm not one of them. And family, let me say this to you. If you really go within, really go within the house that you walk in, those two legs, your spirit will let you know that you are already here or not. And I used to tell my cousin Sonny Man, and he would say, "Put man, why do you feel that you're not from Africa?" I said, "Sonny Man, I've always known that. My spirit has always known that." So, it's amazing. And I'm dedicating this show if my great-grandson, Jaden, ever listens to this. We need help, family. We're not teaching our children to build anymore. We allow somebody to come along and guide us or direct us as to what permits we have to have and this, that, and the other. But if we come together, like in Belize, these things can happen here again. These are what my parents were about. And I give thanks to my dad because in 95, he told me about Brother Harris, the numbers man. Thank you, Brother Harris. My dad told me about this as he crossed over to the other side of the veil. And I'm just grateful for you, Dr. V. I'm grateful for the insight that you had today to reach out to this elder again. And I'm looking at the aura around you. You can tell a lot about people just by looking at their aura. Thank us. Oh.
Thank us.
Thank us.
And Olivia Mazion sends her greetings, Mother Mama AZ. She says, "Hey, Mother Arizona, greetings." So say hi to Olivia.
Greetings.
So we've been
you.
We're sending our love out to everybody. Thank all of us Brother El Hagan, that we've been here hour and a half already, and you have any last words for our audience?
You always say, be ready for change, but put the thought in the atmosphere of what change that you want, and be dedicated to that change, and be deliberate about that change, and hold that thought so that we can have changes. Because nothing changes without being preceded by a thought.
I love that. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So everybody got that?
My last call is the earth. The earth is ours
Yes.
from the Arrogant people. The earth is ours. Everybody want to kick it with us. The earth is ours.
Yes. Thank us.
Do what do thank us. Do what you will. The earth is ours now.
So
now.
El Hagan has inspired us or reminded us to think about what it is you want to change in your life. Whatever you're going through right now, we cannot change this government right now. Please stop it. Don't waste any time on the U.S. government. Just change you and your immediate community and environment. Just work on that first. And then if you want to run for
it's called self government.
Exactly. Self-government. Don't forget about what the Trump team is doing. It's a chaotic show right now because a lot of people don't realize what's going on behind the scenes in Washington, D.C. There's so much going on to stop this child trafficking. What I read sometimes from people who are in the know, I'm just celebrating that finally we are really doing something about all this child trafficking and pornography. All this stuff is coming down, but you got to see the chaos first because people are resisting like crazy to stop it. So, most of the stuff we're seeing going on, protesting and all that, it's because nobody wants to be revealed for the evil they've been doing. And so just work on governing yourself. Be, as we said last year, be your own president. There's a man sitting in the White House doing his thing, but be your own president. Yeah, we're getting ready to go. Go ahead.
Trump is helping his people. We need to help our people.
Well, who are his people? Who are his people? I don't even want to know who that is. His people
is Europeans. It's European. The people who came here to America.
Okay, but Kofi, listen.
Set up this government.
Kofi, all right, enough. Trump at one time had a black.
Could I add one last?
No, hold on. I'm speaking. Please be respectful. Trump at one time had a homeless black woman stay in his Trump Tower for a whole year. People want to call this man racist, but who does that? What billionaire puts a homeless black woman up in the Trump Tower for a whole year? Yes, he's a businessman. He's got business on his mind. He wants to make money. But stop listening to what the media is saying. Of course, his business friends are going to benefit from whatever he does. He ain't stupid, but he's a businessman first. But he's not a racist.
I agree.
So let him do his thing.
Bring him what we want.
Yeah, well, okay. Whatever. You can work.
Bring him what we want.
Yeah, but listen, what did El Hagan just tell us? Whatever you want, you got to have it first in your mind, and then you will attract it. I am attracting what I want right now. I'm gonna have a best-selling novel or a book pretty soon. I'm attracting it here first. I'm not waiting for them to do anything for me. I am a royalty. Okay. You have to have that mind if you want anything to happen. Stop looking for Trump or anybody else to do anything for you. That's where you're becoming a victim.
I have 200 acres land in Arkansas.
That's good. Texas. All right, okay? That's enough.
Okay, we have land. Every black person.
Okay, every person has land. If you want to get it, get it. Again, what El Hagan said, think it first. Whatever you want to change. And one more comment here from Olivia. She says, those that are the salt have a job to sprinkle exactly to each person so that can experience the illumination that's power from within. Thank us. Love you, Dr. V, and thank you to the guest of tonight. Oh, bless you, Olivia. Thank you. And that's what we're here to do every day. Tomorrow, I want to remind you, my sister Zelda will be on Female Solution. Actually, she'll be on YouTube Higher Learning channel talking with, I think it's Angela Patterson, about are you black, are you Negro, are you whatever. They're going to have the discussion about what is your identity. So join her tomorrow morning for some breathing exercise, some great meditation on Higher Learning Network, YouTube, and the Facebook Female Solution. So thank you so much, Brother El Hagan, for joining me tonight and sharing the in this conversation and sharing your wisdom. That's what our young people need more than anything is wisdom. They may resist it, but just keep putting it out there because that's what they're lacking. Experience and wisdom. They need it. So we're going to teach it and share it with love all day long. So let's say goodbye to our global family now and give thanks wherever you are. And remember, tonight, start tonight thinking about what it is you want in this life.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ndiabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.
So we give thanks for all of you, and we ask you to pray for all those who are struggling and suffering, who've lost their homes in California. And I say aloha, aloha to my Hawaii friends out there. You got this, you got this. And to all my yogi friends out there, namaste. And so all of you have a great day. Satnam, Satnam. And everybody have a great evening. Get some rest and meditate if you can. And become a better soul person.